Hello, welcome back to another video. Today we're at the Castle Combe Easter Classic 2025. So this is the day before Pembrey. I didn't really have very many goals, but I've had really bad luck here in past years. So my main goal was just stay with the main group and try and rest and not waste any energy before Pembrey tomorrow and on Sunday. So I was in the under 16 open category, 28 riders. And we're doing 6 laps, so that's only 18 kilometres, very short race. But it's on a motor racing circuit, Castle Combe, 3 kilometre circuit. So not too much footage, coming around once a lap and you're not really allowed to go around. We got started, I got away pretty fast but I didn't get clipped in. And there was a headwind up the straight anyway. So I just wanted to sit into the group, try and not go on the front for that. But I moved up soon enough. It was a reasonably fast start, but it all settled down pretty quickly and I was able to move up. So, Will Baldy, series leader, attacked on lap 1. I was right on his wheel, but I decided not to go for it because this race is notorious for having a bunch sprint at the end. But he managed to stay away. So he had Finley Staunton and Tom Wilkes following. But Finn dropped back to the bunch and it was Will Morris and Tom Wilkes that ended up getting across to Will. So here's Finn there. And here's the bunch, no one's really chasing. Quite high speed along this tailwind section there. I think we had a couple riders off the back at this point. And then here comes our leaders. So it's Tom Wilkes and Will Morris from Beeston and Will Baldy from Avid Sport.
Yes, Will!
And then the bunch comes across. The leaders are working really, really well. The bunch comes across quite far behind. And there are a couple riders sort of pulling, but it's sort of half attacking, half pulling. And no one in the bunch really wants to work.
Good stuff, Laurie.
I think the group was just a bit too big. So you don't want to be pulling 20 odd riders behind you. It was also quite a windy day, so the wind speeds around Castle Combe were about 15 miles an hour with gusts of about 30 miles an hour. Got quite lucky that the finish was a tailwind because having a headwind sprint really does not suit me.
Good stuff, Will. Great stuff.
There's Will Baldy still applying pressure, but I'm pretty sure these 3 could have slowed down now and they still would have been caught. It was a very, very fast race. That's sort of what you get at Castle Combe, being a very open motor racing circuit. So this is the big move from the bunch to try catch them. But with only 3 laps to go, they didn't stand much of a chance. But Billy and Asher got a gap and they started working really well together.
Nathan.
I was just sitting in the bunch trying not to get dropped. See how much energy I could save for the final sprint. My big plan for the race was sort of to sit in and because they only placed the top 10 riders at Castle Combe, so if I was able to get a top 10 then I'd sprint. If I had no chance of getting a top 10 I wouldn't sprint.
Yes, Will.
So there's the bunch just back there in the red circle. And then this is Billy and Asher, quite a way off the lead, but getting further and further from the bunch. And then there goes Finn Burns, and he just sort of powered away from the bunch. A couple laps solo for him. And there's some cohesion in the chase, but only to catch Finn because everyone else has already gone. So this sort of turned into the battle for 6th place.
He's doing really.
So here comes the 2 Wills and Tom. And at some point on this last lap, Will managed to attack out of the hairpin, and he got a gap on the 2 Beeston riders, and carried it to the finish. So another great win for him, 2 in a row. And he's now leading the series by quite a large margin. There's Billy and Asher. And they work together until the final sprint. And here's the bunch here.
Nathan's on the back of this
Now
group.
fighting for
Good.
7th because Finn Burns is too far up the road.
Great stuff, Nathan.
I, at the start of the lap, managed to get on Loris's wheel, and I decided that I was just going to try and stay on it because Loris is usually a good man to follow in the sprint.
See the girls.
So this is Will Baldy coming across with a massive gap on the rest of the field, and quite a big gap on Tom Wilkes and Will Morris. He was very happy with that one.
Yes, Will! Woo!
Here is Billy and Asher. Billy coming in for 4th, Asher in 5th. And then after them it was Finn Burns for 6th. We had a couple team lead outs on the last lap. Merrin working for Bailey. And then Will attacked after Merrin finished his lead out. Tried to go for the win, but ended up just leading out Loris, his teammate.
Loris.
So Loris and Bailey had a good sprint for 7th. Loris taking 7th. Will came in for 9th after his
Well done,
attack.
Loris.
Very good move by him. And then I managed to
Well
come in for
done,
10th.
Nathan. Well done.
Very, very happy with my race. Well done to everyone who raced. And good luck to everyone at Pembrey tomorrow and on Sunday. I'm very, very excited and I hope to see lots of people there. Thanks for watching. Bye.